What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream, and we have a green day in the market. Will it last? We're going to talk a little bit about that. I've got my one of my moderators from the Discord, Daniel, who is always dropping some great knowledge, and we're going to talk to him here. And anybody else who is wanting to come on the stream, I've already tweeted it out. I'll show you that link here in a second. And I'll probably send it out a couple more times throughout the stream. And you're more than happy. I'm more than happy to have you on. And if you want to hang out with us. I'm testing out some lo-fi music in the background, so we'll see if we like that. We do have somebody joining us back room. Superman, I'll bring you in here in just a minute. But Daniel, how you feeling today, man? What's going on? Market green.
Oh, tip-top. Things are looking positive. I got my shopping done during the dip. Loved me some 75-cent and 80-cent Cardano. Picked up some, stocked up on VeChain. I finally hit a lot of my entry points. Yeah, a little bit more Bitcoin. Some decent shopping, just maintaining liquidity and picking up the dip.
Very nice. Mari Red, thank you so much already for the $5 super chat. You're always in here. I appreciate you very much, Mari. So anything else you're keeping your eye on right now, Daniel, in terms of if something were to drop a little bit that you'd go hunting on, or same assets you just mentioned? Or
I recently developed a notion that I need to pay more attention to BNB. Because it seems to perform pretty much well, about as well, and right sort of price action, price levels. It does just as it kind of is more guarded in a dip because of its BSC sustainability. People hold on to it because of that, and I just think a lot of people ignore it. I'm not terribly bullish on it as a project. I don't think it's going anywhere beyond where it is today. Like there will be more BNB projects or BSC projects, over time. But it is one that performs quite well, and I think I need to build a larger position in BNB over time.
That's a really good point. I agree with you, man. I think I've definitely turned a cold shoulder a little bit to BNB, and on that front, do you think you hear like Crowcoin, right? Could Kronos, could that become a BNB type platform, do you think? And how far away are they, if you think they could be?
Absolutely could, mostly because crypto.com isn't going anywhere. It's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of time. And you could see a sudden doom smack of regulation show up with crypto.com, which could delay that. Personally, crypto.com has done extremely well for me, but I'm really, before I do any large accumulations, I think there's plenty of time between now and the winter for it to be under 10 cents or under even as far as 5 cents. Like it's one of the ones that, because it's still a work in progress, because they got at least 2 years, probably closer to the 5 to 6, 7 year range before they really have time to grow their ecosystem. Unless they're making huge strides in the background that I'm not aware of, then you probably have a good amount of time to pick it. Like I would advise people that if they're currently well into profits on Crow, make sure you take a bit and set that money aside for the winter season. Have a bag ready to pick up Crow under the 10-cent mark, possibly under the 5-cent mark.
I want to ask you one more thing on that front, and then we'll shift over to VeChain. Iverto's in the chat, another moderator from our Discord. Patreon link is down below in the description if that's something that interests you. I will say this. If you're going to do the monthly subscription, it's in your best interest to wait until Tuesday. Tuesday is the first of the month. If you do want to go with the annual membership, though, anytime's a good time. But yeah, we've got some great people in our private community. Daniel and Iverto are two of them. We'll get to vet, but on the crypto.com question there, I want to come back to that. Do you stake crypto.com or Crowcoin over on their platform? And I'm sure you're aware of the benefits there that they offer.
As usual, I avoid centralized exchanges like they're poison. Recently, I actually started to use crypto.com for their DCA because of regulation where I live, it became much more difficult logistically for me to take either fiat on-ramp or crypto on-ramp to a DCA. So I actually use their automatic buying via credit card, and then I have something to immediately withdraw it to my wallets. So it just was more convenient for the time being. I don't stake on centralized exchanges. It's just I don't trust. I like to hold my own crypto, and I don't like having someone who can get hacked or can just decide it's no longer my crypto That's not why I'm here. That's basically being in a bank, in my opinion. So.
Gotcha. Don't forget to smash the like button, everybody. Let's get 100 people in here at least. I know it's kind of a midday on a Friday. Everybody's probably already at the bar, right? But if you're hanging out with us, smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't done that yet, too. If you like more content like this, let's talk VeChain, man. I know you've been bullish on this one. Did you pick some up at 2 cents and 3 cents, was it?
Yes, while back, but right now I accumulated a whole chunk. Basically, under 7.5 cents. It was 7.5 cents was sort of the part where I really started to accumulate. I picked up a little bit a long time ago. Sort of, where was it? July, March, if memory serves, of last year. That'd be about a year ago by now, and that was around 12-cent mark, if memory serves.
Mm-hmm.
Something around that range, and but that was just a small buy, and having examined it more closely, I realized that given COVID, given the environment, that people aren't really going to revamp their supply chains. Nothing enterprise grade. Like no massive multinational is going to revamp their supply chain midway through a COVID crisis, or even if there's a small chance of a resurgence in COVID. And then on top of that, supply chain issues that followed. I figured it was a healthy bet that we're going to see much cheaper. So set my price point to 7.5 cents, and I accumulated about 25% of my desired position, and I'm still waiting for it to get a chunk lower during more of a winter season for me to get the rest of it filled in.
Yeah, you kind of hinted at it. Vet is dealing in supply chain management. They're looking at a lot of different areas. They're already being used in Walmart China, from my understanding. Is there another reason why you're so bullish on VeChain, just from a use case standpoint, moving forward?
I mean, in a more abstract sense, the word blockchain can be interchangeable with the word database, and so yes, but you need VeChain to have success in deployment before anyone will ever trust them. So Walmart China, I don't know the scale of their operations, and I don't know the scale of involvement of VeChain. Like there's a big difference between involving something in a section of your supply chain and like, okay, a corporate entity like a pharmaceutical company or anyone who does international scale of enterprise business. That's an endeavor of 2 to 5 years and anywhere from $10 to $50 million to revamp your supply chain for any new tech. So that's like a new SAP model being involved. That can take to that scale of time and money. So that's something companies regularly do every 10 years or so, something to that effect. And a small problem in that can cost tens of millions of dollars in delays. So it's gauging the environment that they're getting into. So in terms of their capabilities, in terms of their tech, they seem to, for the moment, be the leader. I'm not saying like there are other competitors who are doing supply chain based stuff, but they seem to be very niche. VeChain seems to be a bit more multidisciplinary in that respect. But again, what I need to see is either new companies come out and use VeChain for their initial supply chain, or smaller companies start using them for their overall international supply chain before they really solidify any potential.
Gotcha. This is a good question, and I see this a lot because I talk a lot about whale buys and SHIB. So the biggest ETH whale out there added upwards to 50 billion Shiba Inu. How can a whale buy millions of SHIB and it basically has no effect on the price? I'll give a short, brief answer, and then Daniel, I want your thoughts. Well, number one, I mean, the market cap is so high right now where it's so hard to move the needle. Where it once was not like that with SHIB, right? When it was still much lower in price. That type of purchase, which was right around like $1.2 million worth in USD, would certainly move the needle a lot more. Do you have anything to add on that front?
It also depends where they accumulated it. So first of all, it could have been bought from. There are acquisition firms. So when you have large exchanges, for example, they don't go on to Uniswap and buy a token. They hire liquidity provision firms which do it for them on a massive scale. So they will accumulate it however they see fit. So they'll either buy from whales whom they're in contact with, or they'll purchase it through centralized exchange custody programs, anything like Coinbase, stuff like that. Coinbase custody is pretty popular for that. But because that's internal transactions that aren't part of the liquidity pools and the AMMs involved in like the Uniswap price, then it's down to wherever they acquired it from. If it's not open to arbitrageurs to really level the price out, then there's no price impact. I mean, if you had Robinhood purchased a whole bunch, then Robinhood accumulating is what changes the price. It's not trading on Robinhood which affects the price. It's only if there's a difference in price between what's going on in Uniswap, for example, and on Robinhood that someone will arbitrage the difference.
Gotcha. Great insight there. And thanks for the question, too. Keep your questions rolling in. We're going to bring a couple people in who are backstage. So we got Superman. Superman, it sounds like it's raining there, man. Where you at? You there?
Superman, you're live.
Man, are you there? You're live. Okay.
It sounds actually more like he's on a treadmill.
It does. Superman, I'm going to remove you and drop something in the backstage chat. We'll bring you back in. All right, man? We're going to bring in Shane. And Shane, what's happening, man?
Hey, how's it going, man? How's my mic sound?
Sounds great, dude. I need to get one of those. What'd you get?
I don't know what it is, man. It's one of these Yeti Blues or something like that.
Sounds great, man. I need to take a Best Buy trip. So it looks like you're a YouTuber, man. I don't think we've ever met. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, brother. I'm trying to be a YouTuber, man. I'm learning from the best. Big fan of yours. Just want to say what's up. How's everybody doing? How's the audience doing, man?
I appreciate that, man. I think everybody's doing great. It's a green day in the market. It's Friday. So I'd be happy to pull up your channel, man, and get some people your way. And what kind of content do you create?
Actually, I'm just kind of playing around, setting some stuff up. I'm actually not live with it yet. Kind of waiting for some business stuff to go through, and then I'll be jumping on. But right now, outside the broadcast side, I actually am part of the Voxel X team. I don't know if you heard of Voxel X at all. I
have a little bit. Tell us more.
Yeah, so basically Voxel X Network is aiming to basically be the front leader at GameFi. And I don't know if you can pull it up by chance, but if you look at the website, they're aiming to release their Supercluster NFT marketplace coming soon. And then they also have their decentralized exchange. And then they're working on their metaverse. We got Ollie and Sophie that are working on that right now with a big team. And then also they're working on their node network technology. But I saw you were looking at Shiba Inu earlier, and we're actually, I think we got word that we got ranked number 2 on Doggy DAO. So
very nice.
Yeah, that's, I think they're waiting for the final count. So that's pretty big, man, because this is the first wave of the beta where they're kind of looking at to see who gets the woofable pairs. So
yep,
it's pretty interesting time right now, man.
Very, very cool. So Daniel, you're with us too. Daniel's super knowledgeable in the crypto space, been in it much longer than I have. Daniel, any questions for Shane from Voxel X?
First, I've heard of the project, so I'm just quickly skimming through it. What do they do that sets them apart from others?
Well, I think what they're doing right now is they're focusing mainly on the GameFi space, right? And what the NFT marketplace supercluster, what they're aiming to do is have your digital assets to be minted off chain and cross compatible into any metaverse. So I don't know if other projects are doing that. I'm sure there are plenty of other projects that are racing to get into that field right now. So that's going to be coming soon. There's going to be no fees on the supercluster marketplace. So the creators will actually be able to get, their money back when it comes to that with no platform fees. I think that's great for the community. Then the decentralized exchange and ecosystem that'll all be built in later on with the metaverse, right? And then the node technology that they're working on, hopefully as we progress, we understand that the metaverse is going to need new node technology to run the higher speed capabilities. So, there's just a lot of interesting things. I'm sure you guys can agree that in the next 1 to 2 years, the metaverse is the future, and that's where all the money's going to be pouring into. So it's really a race to just kind of get into that space and see what everybody can do. But I know that we're aiming to basically work with other metaverses and digital assets and make sure that they're cross compatible. So imagine I have a Shiboshi, right? So, I'm obviously going to play it in Shibverse. And then I want to be able to jump into the Voxel X metaverse and then MBET's metaverse or Delta Flare metaverse. And it'll be nice to have a platform where you can have your digital assets where they're just cross compatible. So we just got to kind of see how it all plays out.
Very cool. Daniel, I'll let you ask a follow-up if you want to, but real quick, I'm not being paid by this, by bringing Shane on at all. Just want to get that out.
Yeah.
Shane just dropped in. I made this public. So he just dropped in and I'm bringing whoever wants to come in on stream. in with this, man. But sounds interesting, dude. You could buy it over on Shiba Swap. I'm guessing Uniswap too.
Yes, they added liquidity to Uniswap, but it started on Shiba Swap, and then obviously, with us going and hitting number 2 right behind Leash, it's looking like Doggy DAO is going to be our next big push. So again, we're just kind of interested to see how that plays out.
Very cool. Daniel, do you have anything? Good.
I'm just skimming through the white paper, and I'm just seeing you guys have got a Cardano converter for minimizing gas fees. Is that something that's going to be live anytime soon, or?
So I'd have to refer you to our devs for that. I'm not on the actual dev team when it comes to the decentralized exchange, but I know everything was built to take advantage of Ethereum 2.0. So I know when they released the decentralized exchange, that was the vision, is to kind of solve that issue with the high gas fees. So hopefully that kind of answers your question.
Are the devs in chat?
They're not in chat right now. I could get you in touch with them, though.
Are they awake?
Are they awake? I can check.
Answers now.
Yeah,
I love it.
I'm more.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm more of I'm on the partnership team. So we're aiming to get 100+ projects to partner with and do a strategic partnership. And so basically what I do is I network, I meet other projects, get with them and see if where it can go from there between the 2 projects. But our goal is to get at least 100+ projects on day 1 to have volume with our decentralized exchange. So, but for the devs, I could definitely, we could talk privately later, and I could get y'all connected if that's something you guys are interested in. And then we could get them on the show and talk more about details and specifics and what they can discuss when it comes to the development side.
Right,
That's awesome, man.
In the Discord. The description was just a little bit kitchen sinky, and I'm just trying to skim through and really get a grasp what the what's the word I'm looking for? What the lay version of what the project is about. So I'm seeing that it's about basically mobile gaming. And are you guys providing the infrastructure for mobile game developers to integrate into sort of a streamlined metaverse, or is it more like you guys are developing the games themselves, and what partnership? I'm confused about what the partnerships are for. Like, if someone wants to make a partnership with you, who's the person you're looking for, and what's the skill sets that they have? What's the skill sets that you guys have?
Yeah, so it's Voxel X Network for a reason, because basically what we're aiming to do is have different creators and different developers that are able to work with each other. For example, when you go to Supercluster Marketplace, we're not going to have any fees, but we're allowing it to be like an open space for creators and different developers to really work together. So you'll really be able to just go out there, network, and work with these other networks that are in our strategic partnership, and kind of get the benefit of, hey, if you need help with a metaverse type development, a play to earn game or a mobile game, that's where it all kind of comes into place. We don't aim to compete. We aim to network and kind of help each other out. So that's our goal. We're not trying. That's why we have a healthy relationship with Shiba. They're working on their metaverse, Shibverse, and we're working on our metaverse. But we're aiming to have cross compatibility between the digital assets, right? So, this is still evolving. We're just now starting. I think I'd have to get with some of the lead members, but we're just now starting to hit our hard launch. So I can't speak on behalf of the developers or if they're going to tweak some things with the white paper, because I know if you read through it, there's a white paper 2.0 that's supposed to be released later in the year. So again, that's all subject to change.
I think what I'm more mean is elevator conversation. If right now,
this is just a little intro, and if you want to get more into the in-depth specifics, I could definitely link you up with right people for that.
I personally, I would love to, but I'm more more abstract for anyone listening, and also anyone who may be interested. I mean, if right now we're in an elevator, we got 10 floors, and I need to explain to somebody what Voxel X is about, how does that elevator conversation go?
Yeah, so if I had 60 seconds to just pitch it real quick, I'd tell you, hey, Look, we're aiming to be a big competitor in the GameFi space, right? We know in the next 1 to 2 years, the metaverse is the big deal that's going to be coming down with gaming. We have billions of dollars that are pouring into this industry. So we're aiming to create a NFT marketplace that's beneficial for creators that have zero platform fees. We're creating our own ecosystem, decentralized exchange, which will have be integrated into the metaverse, the NFT marketplace, and our digital assets. And then we're also working on node network technology, which hopefully we can get other projects on board utilizing that technology. So that's the elevator pitch for you, man. Like I said, the developers, I think for the more specific answers you'd be looking for to your questions, I think it would be better to get them on, because then you could really get into the technicalities. That's just not me. I'm not the dev, you know what I mean? And I don't want to feed you any BS.
Sure.
That's awesome, man. Hey, I really appreciate you coming on. You're welcome to hang out with us too. And dude, I just followed the Voxel X Network Twitter. I could follow you too, or what's the best way to get in touch with you?
If you type in my name on Twitter, Shane Lemire, SHAYNE. Sorry, my mom spelt my first name wrong, so it has a Y in there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then LAMEYER. Yeah, it's the one with the Shiboshi. There you go.
That's awesome. So yeah, man, just shoot me a DM, and man, maybe we can get like an AMA with all the devs. And I love the connection with Shiba Inu, and the metaverse component, of course, is going to be big. Something we always talk about. It's I know Daniel thinks this way too. Everybody's trying to do it, right? So I think his first question really is like, what is separating you from others? And I think we're all trying to navigate this, like what the metaverse is going to look like. Are there going to be multiple metaverses? Are there going to be, these few big players that dominate the space and everybody builds on top of Sandbox, right? I think that's a big question we really don't have an answer to, but I guess I'll turn it into a question. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so I think you're right. We're not trying to focus on just a metaverse. We truly believe there's going to be a megaverse where you'll have all these metaverses within a megaverse, and you be able to utilize your digital asset and jump from one metaverse to another. That's what's going to bring a lot of utility and value to your digital asset, right? Because if you buy a digital asset in the future, honestly, if it's limited to one chain and you're stuck with that one metaverse, then it's not going to be as valuable as one that has the option to be able to jump everywhere, because that's what people are going to want. You're not going to be able to, have a conversation here in Shibverse and want to jump to Voxel X, metaverse. You're going to have to switch out your avatars. We truly believe your avatar is going to be your digital identity. So again, it's a race. You're right. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next 1 to 2 years.
Definitely. There was a question up in chat. I think this one right here. What are the coins in your portfolio that are skyrocketing? So this is a good time. I've been waiting to talk about this. I know Daniel knows exactly where I'm going with this, and a lot of people in chat know. But Apollo Inu is the one that I have been most excited about. An AMA last night with Matt Johnson, their CEO, was over on Your Pop's channel. Your Pop's good friend of mine here on YouTube as well. But yes, Apollo Inu, they're building a community DAO that's essentially going to be utilized to help creative people fund their project, whatever it is, whether it's, being a musician, being an artist, being a content creator here on YouTube. There are a lot of people that are super skilled in one area that don't have the financial means to get there, to really jumpstart a project or jumpstart a business. And I think this is super cool because it's utilizing decentralization. It's utilizing the community DAO that has become very popular in the last, I'd say, year or so. And every transaction that goes through Apollo Inu, a very small portion of every buy and sell is put back into this DAO, which we'll use to fund projects. Their hope is in the future to fund various projects throughout weeks at a time. So upwards to $50,000 per week is a goal that Matt has actually set out for Apollo Inu. So amid the craziness in the market, there are some winners. There are always some diamonds in the rough. And right now, I think this is one, especially in my particular portfolio, that is performing extremely well. I was an early investor in this one, day one, hours after launch. And so excited about this one. So another one that I just covered, Volt and New, has also been performing really well. I know a lot of people in chat have talked about this, and really growing ecosystem, multi-chain. They've got you can see here 8,300 over on Ethereum, but I think upwards to 9 or 10,000 holders on the BSC side of things. So those are a couple. Any other projects from you guys that you want to highlight, maybe that are performing well right now amid market conditions? Although today looks pretty good, but anything else you're bullish on? Daniel, I'll start with you, man.
You know me. I need more than one day of green before I leave my bunker.
Let me ask you this: what are you bullish on long term, regardless of what the market's doing today or tomorrow?
Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP, Cardano. I actually started considering a Solana position. I know that sounds strange coming from me, but just
why? Why?
No, because I get the sense that if we see a $50 Solana at any time during a market downturn, then its recovery speed is just astronomically fast. It's got enough of a support base that I wish to profit off of that support base, but not a long term hold. And that for me, it's not my taste. It doesn't fit the bill for what I invest in my strategy. So I would be looking to take a very fast profit off of it. But if I see a $50 Solana, I will be making a scalp play on it pretty quickly. Cardano DeFi is mostly what I've been in for the last week or so. So Melt Protocol, Liquid Finance, Ardana, AADA. I mean, basically the nascent ecosystem there that's sort of growing that nobody really seems to be looking at. And you can accumulate projects which, if everything goes according to plan, 5-6 years from now will be worth several billion, and you can pick it up now for pennies. So
can I get there via the Cardano website?
CardanoCube.io is the one that shows all the projects in Cardano DeFi that are upcoming.
Okay. And you know what? It's interesting to get your take on this because, the narrative I hear a lot, and a lot of times it is from new investors. And that's why I love having you on, Daniel, because you're a seasoned investor. You always bring a different perspective and a very informed perspective as well. But many people watch the price action of Cardano and they've already given up on it. Why are you going, I don't want to say against the grain, but why do you disagree with that? And why are you so long on Cardano? I know you have some feelings about Charles and what he's building as well. So I'd love to get your thoughts on that.
I mean, Charles is an excellent proselytizer and face of it, but honestly, I don't like going for a crypto based on a person. What's going on today in the Cardano ecosystem is the execution of things which were written in paper 6 years ago, and they have been pretty much accomplished as they were written. And it's the embodiment of patience is needed to do everything right the first time and to provide. I mean, the problems which Cardano we're encountering today are exactly what Ethereum is going to encounter when they get to their merge phase. So they will definitely have problems. They won't have concurrency issues because they're using an account-based model, but any UTXO model is going to encounter the same concurrency issues that they had. And in terms of scaling, that's exactly you can look at the roadmap for Ethereum over the next 6 years, and it's pretty much Cardano's roadmap over the next 2 years. And yes, Cardano will take their sweet time doing everything, and that's fine by me. I have the patience to accumulate things cheap, and I'm not disagreeing with anyone that the price action of Cardano itself has been lackluster. It most certainly has, and it actually broke some supports, which I expected it to hold if we saw a market downturn. But that's not something which shakes me because I've just pretty much read every white paper that they've put out, and the confidence that instills in knowing the technical aspects of what's going to be executed in the next, not just year, but really the next 10 years. I mean, the projects like what's going on in Africa and stuff like that are very much peripheral. They're not the focus of it. Is this technology something which has the capacity to be around 10 years from now and be as robust as we expect crypto to be 10 years from now? And in my opinion, it really does. Meld Protocol is one of my favorites there. If you're looking at it, looking at it on the right, this is something which will compete with not just bank lending, but it will compete with banks. It will compete with Aave, with Maker, with Curve, with Compound. This is you'll be able to take your crypto and use it as collateral for a fiat loan. I mean, that's a tech which sadly doesn't exist today. There are many popular projects which are planning on doing it, But this is a group which, if you break down the tech and you break down the arrangement that they're doing, I mean, I hate having to sell my crypto if I wish to take profits, and I hate taxable events. I pay my taxes, but I hate being taxed for simple actions that I take as my regular trading. I would much rather deposit it and take out a fiat loan, not trigger a taxable event, and have liquidity based on that. So this type of thinking is what I'd like to see, because I mean, to talk to what Shane was mentioning before about having multiple multiverses, it really doesn't stop at a multiverse or at a metaverse aspect of things. It really applies to crypto as a whole. What's really lacking is the development of standards across chains and across ecosystems. Is that if right now it's starting to take form in the past year and a half, where if you have an NFT, where you have bridges where you can take an NFT that you purchased that's an ERC 1557, and you can just move it over to Polygon, or you can move it over to any EVM compatible chain, and it's there. And then soon we'll start seeing other standards where you can move it to a Cardano NFT. And when NFTs develop as a technology that gets more used, then you'll start seeing the tech that everyone's excited about today will actually be developed. I keep jumping back to the analogy, but it's when RFID in the 90s was a thing. I really think everybody needs to see the 1994 commercial by IBM about when RFID tags were the new thing. There's a commercial with a guy who walks into a supermarket. It's basically what Amazon did with their supermarkets today. But when a guy walks in and he looks like a shady fella and he's taking stuff off of the shelves like he's stealing it, and the guy walks out and the security guard stops him and says, "You forgot your receipt." That was the idea that IBM had in 1994 about where RFID is going to take people. And what happened is it took 10, 15 years for the standards to be developed, where today we've got near field communication in phones, we've got Apple Pay, we've got all those techs, which what happened was the tech needed 10 years to develop. Like I'm bullish on NFTs, but I'm not bullish on NFTs as let's buy a liquid JPEG and hold it and hope it gets to be worth $200,000. I just don't see that as something that I can. Well, I haven't been successful at speculating on NFTs. I'll be fair on that. Gaming, I can see that as being very popular, but NFTs as a tech really need 5 to 10 years to develop, and where you get to be an identity foundation. One of my favorite things in the Cardano ecosystem, which I hope gets brought to Ethereum and to other chains, is Prism or any of those identity foundations. Because as regulation comes along in crypto, something that Cardano already has, which will be implemented in the next few years, is you'll be able to take your KYC info and just have that be an NFT in your wallet. And then all of your transactions will have that as part of the signature. So they can regulate from here to kingdom come. And everything will be logged and it will be secured in such a way that you're not giving your passport number, your driver's license number, your banking info to anybody. But the transaction is linked to you. And they can make you do identity KYC for days, but you've done it once. It's in an NFT. It's attached to every transaction you made. There's NFTs as an identity foundation that's really been developed. Stuff like that. So it needs years to really get. And what lets it be done is when all of the chains and all of the large projects, which sadly 90% of them aren't going to make it through a crypto winter. The ones which do will have the tech developed in 5 to 10 years to execute this tech the same way we see RFID and near field communication being used nowadays.
Gotcha, man. Dude, so many great things there. I just want to go back to one thing real quick, and then I want to get Shane's thoughts on just things he's bullish on right now. I know Voxel's going to be one of them, but I want to open the door a little bit further. So NFTs, and I think we've actually had these conversations, Daniel, but like the future of NFTs, like say I go buy a car tomorrow, cash buy, right? That title could be turned into an NFT, right? Are those the sort of things you're thinking about in terms of real world use case, moving beyond JPEG pictures and community building and things like that?
I can't tell if you were asking me or Shane.
No, I was asking you. Or Shane, you're more than welcome to answer that too.
Shane, you first.
No, so Ken, basically, I think that a lot of the NFT digital assets and payments are all going to they're going to come to life where you'll be able to utilize them in a payment system and trade them and do all types of different things and have them as an avatar. But I actually have I'll save it for when you ask me later on what you think I'm bullish on, because I think it's going to kind of go back to that a little bit.
Okay.
Daniel, you want to answer basically what the question was? Because kind of got me caught. I'll be honest, it caught me a little bit off guard because I thought he was asking it towards you mainly.
What was? Can you repeat the question? Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
So he did.
Yeah.
No, the question that Zach was asking you.
Zach, what was the question? Sorry.
Yeah, basically, we were talking about how, NFTs, maybe we're at like ground level, right? With like the JPEGs. And now we're getting into like 3D NFTs, kind of what Pochi Inu is doing and bringing those into the metaverse. While there's probably a place for that, King's Broadcast, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. While there's probably a place for that, do you think like the real world use case comes into play? Let's say when I go buy a car and then that title that they give you ends up being an NFT that's stored on the blockchain that's, verifiable, right? Is that what you're thinking of in terms of the future of NFTs?
I think that the first version, the first iteration of it, will be something more akin to like a digital signature. So, I mean, that's something that's still a headache nowadays, surprisingly, in 2022, is that a lot of countries, a digital signature counts as legit signature as if you signed a contract. Well,
right.
You sign a contract rather, but I can't make an NFT which I can use cryptographically to sign a contract. So, I mean, that model isn't secure. You have a picture that's your signature, that counts as a legal signature, but you can't have an NFT which can cryptographically sign a contract digitally, and that's legally accepted. So, the law has to catch up to things in many sense. And then the tech that people build on top of that is really what enables it to flourish. I mean, I see this as the first iteration. And you can tell by a lot of augmented reality stuff. I mean, like you can look at Google Glass is a great example. People were nuts about the thing for a year and a half, and then it completely vanished, with the exception of, I think, medicine is the only field where it actually got used to any large degree. So that can be technology such as these. The successful iteration is the fourth or fifth version of it. So I mean, it's and at this point, to really try and foresee what the final iteration will be. I mean, the adoption phase is when things are so ubiquitous that you don't even pay them any mind. I mean, like it was very strange when PayPal first came out that you had your credit card details on a digital form. People were very, back when credit cards were done still with carbon paper. I mean, it was people were very cautious about putting their payment details on that internet thing that their kids are talking about. So, as having the deed to your car be an NFT, what's missing there is the standard in a legal framework that you can have an NFT that represents a legal ownership, a bill of ownership of something. So, I mean, it wouldn't just be for the car. I mean, that would be maybe one firm will do car ownership, another will do property ownership, stuff like that. But the framework involved in having an NFT that legally represents ownership of something is really and on top of that, having like legal recourse for that. So if, for example, you're the owner of a house, but your bank has forfeited it, then technically your bank needs to access your wallet. So you need a legal framework for your bank to actually foreclose on your house, but the ownership of your house is currently in the form of a deed that's an NFT. So, I mean, if it's just whoever holds that NFT is the owner, except if they have the paper deed in their hand, then nothing's really happened. You've just added an extra step. If, on the other hand, the NFT is the actual ownership of the item, then you require a legal framework for stuff like recourse if somebody needs to sue you for ownership of something. So there's a lot of development outside of just people buying crypto, people buying NFTs, and people writing cool projects that needs to be accomplished along the way. And that stuff is really taking its time catching up, which is why it's nice to see. I mean, it's not nice to see government stalking regulation, but there is something of a silver lining to people finally talking about let's look at regulating this environment.
Yeah. Let's legitimize the space per se, right? And I want to get back to regulation a little bit too. But Shane, your thoughts, man, on some of the projects out there you're bullish on outside of Voxel. I got a big mark on my forehead there. So you guys,
It's looking good, man. You got a bald head like me too, man. That's why I wear a hat all the time.
I got a haircut today, man.
Oh yeah, it looks good,
about
man.
8 minutes.
Hey, well, I'll go ahead and start out with one that I'm very bullish on. I've got a few, but I don't know if you've heard of Goat Token at all.
I just saw somebody talking about it in chat. They were firing it up. So fill us in.
Yeah, it's not that. It's gonna be here. Let me see if I can find it. Can somebody in chat post it? The actual link to it.
Or Goat Token, this one here?
Yes, that's going to be the one. It obviously dropped recently when you look at the market with the overall market drop with Ukraine, but then it just had a really hard bounce from the really hard drop. But I can kind of give the elevator pitch for this one real quick for those that don't know about Goat Token. I think the reason why I'm bullish on this one is because they're actually working with a multi-billion-dollar partner that is a reseller for sneakers, for high-end shoes and apparel as well. They've doubled their valuation each year. And basically what's going on is that they're doing a payment processing. They've got Visa, MasterCard, and Discover already on board. And what's going to happen is every physical piece of merchandise that is purchased by through the actual partner, the company, they're going to get the consumer is going to get a digital asset of it, which will be usable in the metaverse. So it's going to have intrinsic value, and you're also going to get the digital asset. And again, you've got a multi-billion-dollar company that is linked to multiple sports venues and professional athletes and celebrities. And if I'm not mistaken, they're the leader. They're number one right now in resellers. So, for example, if Carmelo Anthony has his basketball shoes and he wants to sell them, he signs them, he can sell them on there, and boom, that's what they do. So, can't say the company name because it hasn't been announced yet. That's kind of like the secret, but it should be announced soon.
So real quick, do you know these guys? Because I'm pretty sure I met Chris. I'm pretty sure he was at the Saitama event out in Vegas. I'm almost positive.
Yes. So I will never. So just so you guys know about me, I'm Shane Lemire. I'm fully doxxed. You can look me up on LinkedIn. I never condone or support any projects that I don't know actually who's involved in it, and if they're not at least semi-doxed or KYC, because I truly believe in protecting the community at all costs. That's number one always, right? So I do know Michael Laidley. He is also part of Heroes Token. I'm sure you've heard of Heroes Token. And so I know him personally. And both the Chris's, Chris K and Chris M, I know them through the space, but I have seen them, talked to them, and they're real people. And the communities here, they can tell you about them as well. If you go to the Telegram, they're always there. They're very transparent. I mean, they're good people, man. They really take care of their community, and I like that.
I like that as well. And here on the channel, we're always trying to bring new projects to light. Of course, you've got to make your own investment decisions, but the more you know, the better decisions you can make. So do some due diligence on this one. Sounds interesting. What else you got, brother?
So if you could pull up Delta Flare. Delta Flare is another one that just launched on Shiba Swap. It had a second contract launch, so I think the chart's going to look a little bit. Let me see if that's the first one, or if you might have to go to the second chart. There's a second contract that was launched like within the same week.
Is it on?
There's a couple of issues there that I was told. The taxes weren't going to the actual tax wallet. I think it was all going back to the liquidity pool, so they didn't have any. They weren't getting any of their tax dollars to develop the project or do marketing. That's it. Yeah. So Delta Flare, I'll tell you about them. Josh is fully doxxed, and then they have Anonymous, and then John, their artist, their NFT creator, he's fully doxxed as well. These guys, I tell you what, man, they're part of the GameFi space again. They're doing their play to earn game. They've got their NFTs, which will have utility within the play to earn game. And then they're evolving to get into the metaverse, right? So they're an official partner with Voxel X Network. So these are the type of projects that we partner with. We do a full vetting, and we do a vetting of the team. And one of our main goals is to ensure that when we vet them, if they're going to have the capability to actually pay for development and do what they say they're going to do through their white paper and roadmap, right? So these guys here, they're really being slept on. If you go to their Telegram chat, I think there's only like 500, 600 people under TG. You know, and then if you look at the amount of holders on the when you go to Etherscan, it's very early, man. It's very, very early. But again, do your due diligence, do your research. I'm not giving anybody financial advice, but again, I truly believe a lot of the money that comes in within the next 1 to 2 years is going to be focused on metaverse projects. So
I like it, man. Daniel, it sounded like you had something there a minute ago.
I was wondering about the GOAT token. I'm seeing 13 companies that are shoe companies in the world that are considered multi-billion. I'm just wondering if it's in the top 10.
It'll definitely be one of the top ones.
Does it have more than
I can't give any information. They won't give us any more information.
Does it have more than 3 vowels in the name?
Say again?
Does it have more than 3 vowels in the name?
I don't know, man.
If it has more than 3 vowels in the name, give no indication whatsoever.
I can't say anything further than what I've already said. I don't want to get in trouble.
So you're looking at the top 10 shoe companies in the world via 2020, or what are you looking at?
It's not a actual shoe company. It's a reseller of sneakers, and they actually have their own apparel. So a lot of money, if you Google sneaker resellers, it's billions and billions of dollars right now. A lot of people are, imagine bringing that to life with NFTs, right? So where you actually purchase the merch, it ships to you, and then you get a digital asset that you can utilize in the metaverse and put it on your avatar, but then you can resell it yourself. So, I mean, they got payment processing. So here's the other thing I kind of missed on it, right? So what I've been told is that when you purchase it, a percentage of every purchase is going to do a buyback of the GOAT token. I think that was probably one of the most important things I missed, because then you're going to get a lot of buy pressure, right? So I think that's what a lot of people are excited about, because it has intrinsic value. It does a percentage through the payment processing, goes back and buys back the token, so that it's going to apply buy pressure, and then you get the digital asset. And then the other thing they're working on that I've been told is that they're going to be working with high-end celebrities, professional athletes on building their educational platform. And it's not just going to be your regular educational platform that you have for crypto, you know what I mean? But they want to get the general population who's not really involved with NFTs or cryptocurrencies. They want to really educate them and speak to them on the type of level that they can understand. And they're going to be utilizing professional athletes in these different venues to kind of speak their message out. And here's another thing. I don't know, maybe if I'm not supposed to say this or not, but there has been talk that they could potentially have their project on the basketball courts for the NBA playoffs. Really? So that's pretty big. So what I imagine is like crypto.com, right? Crypto has their own stadium. Could you imagine them promoting GOAT token or whatnot? There's so many different things you can do with the collaborations with something this big. So
very interesting. King's Broadcast, thanks again for the super chat, man. Their biggest competition just got sued for some NFTs they developed. Hint. Okay, there you go. Anonymous, thank you for the super chat, man. He's pimping out Anon token. It's on fire. So give a look at their not financial advice, of course, but this is interesting, man, for sure. Appreciate the insight here. Anything else you're bullish on, man, outside of those two?
Yeah. So just real quick, can you see I changed my background?
Yeah,
these are these are 101 NFTs that Delta Flare did for me. I paid for them, but they're on sale right now. If anybody wants to buy them, 100 ETH each. I told Josh one day I'm gonna sell one of these dang things for 100 ETH because they're a 1-of-1. That's a 1-of-1 police knot and a 1-of-1 Marine knot. Right here. I'm still trying to get used to this. I'm new to the whole broadcasting thing, but
it sounds like you're not new to NFT. So I got to ask you something, but I'll let you finish. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Okay, no, I was just gonna say, man. So, in real life, I'm a police sergeant. I know I'm probably gonna have a lot of haters out there. I'm a police sergeant for a large police agency in the United States, and I'm also a Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. But I served in Operation Iraqi Freedom. I served from 2003 to 2007. And then how I got into cryptocurrencies was in 2016, and then in 2017, I was with Binance. So I was one of the first Binance angels in 2017. I was with them for 3 years. And then after that, I just kind of went on my own, doing my own thing. And then now I'm with Voxel X Network. So, and on the side, I'm trying to get into broadcasting and stuff. So you guys, I'm not going to lie, Zach, you and a lot of other influencers have really motivated me, man. I've been following you guys and I love your show. So I want to get out there and kind of, have fun with it.
Couple things, man. You definitely have what it takes. Feel free to DM me anytime. I'd be happy to help you in any way I can. Resources like the SEO, search engine optimization stuff. Happy to help anybody, come into the space. I think a lot of times, in business, people get the wrong idea of competition. They look at it as a bad thing. I think in our space, man, we can't have enough people talking about cryptocurrency. We can't have enough people talking about NFTs because we're so early, all of us together, and there's room for all of us in this thing. So I always say that, man. I don't look at other creators as competition. Anybody who's even talked about me in a bad light, I reach out to them and say, hey, let's talk, rather than feud amongst one another. Let's have a conversation because I guarantee people can learn from that. So always here to help you, brother. I know we just met, but that's just, just know that that's always welcome. But dude, thank you for your service as well on that other front. And I got to ask you about this. This is an NFT collection that I'm starting with another YouTuber called the Rich Rabbit Club. So it sounds like you're into NFTs. I'm learning. But we're getting ready for a launch probably in a couple months from now. Basically, our whole idea here, and this is for everybody a little bit from a utility standpoint, myself and Austin Hilton, another content creator, have built these, fairly large communities. And we want to help people become entrepreneurs. We want to help people pursue their goals and dreams and obviously help people do well in crypto. So what we're building here is when you hold a Rich Rabbit Club NFT, it's going to be a 10,000 NFT drop. You're automatically in the club. We're going to have monthly webinars where we talk about, mindset, starting businesses, failing and then picking things up and having success, getting into crypto, portfolio management, all of these sort of things. And we're also going to do at least one live meetup per year. So that's kind of the utility built in. So we're getting ready to launch these things, man. It's going to be 0.1 ETH whitelist, and I think 0.12 on the public side. So maybe I can go through these and let me know what you think of some of these, man.
I'm curious.
I can tell you right now, I'll be grabbing one. I got my wallet address is public for my NFT collections that I'm starting. And so I'm definitely going to grab one of these, man. I like it. I like the laser eyes. That was pretty cool. It looked like kind of like a zombie deal. And then this guy right here looks like he partied a little too hard last night and he's regretting it now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, our hope was to do something a little bit different, man. And, we saw what happened with a lot of these super successful projects. And we wanted to create some unique utility based on, the little bit of success that we've had, in a short amount of time. And we want to give back. And this is kind of our way of hopefully doing so. And the monthly webinars will hopefully lead up to, the yearly meetings where we get to hear from all of the people who hold these NFTs that have had success in not only crypto, but whatever they want to do. A lot of people out there, I think, stuck in dead end jobs and just, are just that close from taking that leap of faith and doing something that they really want to do and having success at it. So we want to help people get there. That's kind of our mission, man. So I had to pimp that out a little bit and get people, show people this. And I wanted to show you it too, because it sounds like you're deep into NFTs, man.
Dude, what I would love, I'm assuming you're going to launch this on OpenSea and all that, but when Supercluster comes out, man, there's no fees to the platform. Would love to see this on Supercluster when it comes out, man, and we can help do some AMAs and stuff about it with Voxel.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about that, man. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Sounds good, man.
All right, brother. Hey, anything else you want to add in terms of projects you're bullish on right now? How about just where the crypto market is as a whole? Even you want to throw your journey in there a little bit. Anything
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'll just mention two other partner projects real quick before they get mad at me. No, I'm just joking. But MBets, MetaBets, and then also Bunnyverse. I don't know if you heard of Bunnyverse.
Yep,
Bunnyverse is what Voxel X Network now as a strategic partner. And then we have MetaBets. Yeah, that's Bunnyverse. That one will be one.
I know Sush well.
Yeah, Sush is a real good guy, man. He's a real good guy. These guys are motivated. They're not messing around, man. People are sleeping on a lot of these metaverse projects. And I really think once we kind of get out of this meme hype phase, I feel like we're in this kind of like, hey, jump on this meme token. It's going to make you a millionaire. Once that kind of phases out, it reminds me of the ICO phase. I don't know how many people here were part of crypto in 2017, but the ICO craze was just like the meme token craze. Exactly the same, man, with the rug pulls, people becoming millionaires overnight. And, it was just insane money just pouring in it. People not doing research, in and out, holding, losing money. It's just like 2017. So
blockchain iced tea.
Yeah. Yeah,
which is also reminiscent of the dot-com bubble in the late 90s when everything spooled down there. It was money, just billions of dollars a day flying around at projects that had no fundamentals to them, and it really just because they had the flavor of the week to them. Pets.com being sold for $325 million was another one of my favorites. Yeah, we'll walk your dog. I mean, something I do today on WhatsApp for free, back then was the $325 million company. It's I should note that regarding both of your guys' NFT projects. First of all, how much was your previous background? How much can I buy the previous background for? Can I get that for 0.1 ETH? 100 ETH for an astronaut?
I can go. This is just tough, man, because it's the first police night and the first Marine night, and it's really my background. So I don't know. Maybe if I blow up one day and next year everybody knows who I am, they might want to buy my thing. That's how crazy people are. But no, seriously, I just kind of did that for fun. I'll bring it down later. I might bring it down later. I think it is the floor price.
Bring it down.
Don't bring it down. Push it up.
100, man.
Keep it at 100.
Let me disclose this. I am green with envy of the dozens of people I've met who have made small to large fortunes off of NFTs, because I have not been able to wrap my head around the art aspect of it, or I have not been able to wrap my head around what makes successful or attractive NFT projects. I allocated just around $20,000 to trying to learn it, and I did very well with the gaming space, but when it comes to the art space, I failed miserably. Pretty much everything I put into things that I thought looked cool, I sold one NFT at a profit, and that was one that I just bought as a giggle, and it was a picture of a rock. And the rest of them were things that I looked at and I'm like, that looks really cool. Like my niece would like that. If it doesn't sell for anything, I'll give it to her. And those all did horribly. And I do not understand it. I get the attraction. I understand the psychology. I understand the desirability in that. But I cannot wrap my head around how people gain the knowledge of what counts as an attractive product. So you know what? That stays at 100 ETH, my man. At least the cop looks really cool. The Marine looks. Those two, keep them at 100, man.
Also, Daniel, on that point, let's turn that into a question. So Shane, how do you value NFT projects, man?
Man, I look at them. That's a tough subject, right? Because I understand why the lower pixel one, the pixel art from when they first started in 2017, they have value because that's part of history, right? It really just comes to what you feel like, what speaks to you, right? So these two NFTs, they speak to me. They mean a lot to me because I have a lot of life experience, and I think just first of all, these Delta knots are cool as hell. They look really awesome, right? The John, you gotta give props to John. This guy, you should see his videos on how he makes them and everything. He puts a lot of fine detail into this, and so I'm just attracted to them as is. But the fact that they're one of ones, for me, I think the way I look at NFTs is, can I see myself running around a metaverse with this NFT, and what kind of cool shit can this stuff do? Sorry, I should have beeped that. Excuse my language.
All good, bro. All good.
I'm a Marine and a cop, right? So I curse a lot. So, yeah, man, it just depends. I have a Shiboshi, right? My Shiboshi, it's simple artwork, but I love it because of the history with Shiba. And I know what it means, the utility it's going to bring. And I understand that it's going to be a powerful NFT within the Shiba verse. So, oh, hey, Crypto Empress is here. What's up? She says, check out Delta Flare. See, she knows what's up.
I see her all over the place in the community, man. So, Crypto Empress, appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat.
But yeah, and I like yours. Like the ones you showed me, I'm definitely going to buy one of those because I think they look cool. So really, it comes back to the utility, right? So I think the utility, does it look cool, and can you use it in the metaverse? And now what I'm looking at is, are the developers willing to work with creating protocols and evolving their NFT digital asset into being cross-chain compatible, right? So that's something that we're doing at Voxel X and with Supercluster, is that we have developers that can work with our strategic partners and get kind of work on those NFTs and make sure they're cross-compatible. So I think that that's the future of gauging the value of an NFT, right?
100%, man. Yeah, it's a wild place, man, but a lot of money is flying around, no question about it. I think, don't quote me on this, and you guys might be able to correct me on it. Was it $41 billion? I think they the total value in 2021?
43.82 last I checked.
$43.82 billion this past year. Just absolutely mind-boggling, right? Crazy. To say the least.
What I wanted to
so much money, man.
No, but I mean, you've got was it Christie's? I can't remember who it was. There was Christie's, and there was also a bank who was going to allow collateralization of loans with stuff like CryptoPunks, or like extremely high value NFTs could be used to collateralize loans. I mean, today, I mean, again, I have no eye for art. I am not creative, and I have zero taste in good art. But I know that if there is an expensive painting, which is collectively agreed as being expensive, that it is an excellent mechanism for the transfer of wealth between generations, and also as a store of wealth. I mean, purchasing art is one of the best ways to keep the value of money that you wish to have for a long period of time. I mean, art goes up in value slightly more. I mean, apparently the best investment nowadays in terms of keeping money for over a 30-year span is a yacht. I did not know that until recently, but apparently buying yachts is very good for storing value. So buying art is equally good for it. If you can buy a Chagall that for $130,000 today, then that Chagall will probably be worth twice as much should the dollar inflate by 100% over the next 20 years. So it's a decent store of value that doesn't get taxed when transferred. So, if this can happen with NFTs, then we really start to see the adoption phase by big money, because then it becomes a very convenient and much more secure mechanism. I mean, if you have art, you need to either gallery it or curate it in some way, shape, or form that costs you money. I mean, it is not cheap to hold. If you are a very wealthy individual and you wish to store $10 to $50 million worth of art, that's a lot of money and a lot of risk to just either gallery it or privately own it. And if this could be done through NFTs, it just allows a much greater degree of security. So I'm excited if we start seeing broader adoption of the art aspect of NFTs, preferably in more robust blockchains than ETH, and the EVM is not designed for this type of work, by the way, like on a technical level. Ergo, Cardano are actually slightly better because of block size, but we need a real rethinking of how chains are done for NFTs before we really see where you could authenticate the Mona Lisa on this type of infrastructure. But if you want to have a $50 million or $100 million work of art that is transferable via NFT between generations, then we're talking real adoption as in terms of investment.
Great insight, man. Man, I love this roundtable, how this thing just kind of came together, man. That's the cool thing about live streaming and then throwing out the link. You just never know who's going to drop in, man. So
Yep.
Shane, I appreciate you, man, a ton.
Yeah.
Dude. I really appreciate it. Let's connect. I guess off stream, and let's chat, man.
Can I do one more shout out to one person real fast before I leave?
Oh yeah,
if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I got Mr. Burt official here, man. He this guy, and I'll say he might get mad at me, but he and I are actually partners. We just started a business together. We're not going to release our name yet, but yeah, he is a content creator. So I don't know if you've heard of Mr. Burt official.
Oh yes, I definitely have. Let's pull him up and show him some love here. Here he is.
Definitely,
right
man. That would be awesome. Yep, that's him.
Yeah, we follow each other too. Looks like too. So check out Mr. Burt's content as well, man. I'm curious to see what that business is too.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, he lives literally 10 minutes away from me.
Awesome, brother.
So, all right, man. Well, hey, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me on your show. It's been an honor, and thank you so much, man. I'm excited. This was actually, you popped my cherry, dude. This was my first live show, to be honest.
Dude, I can already tell, man. You have what it takes. So seriously, I don't say that lightly. DM me, and any way I can help, man. I'd love to do that. So appreciate it, man. Happy Friday. Have a good weekend, brother.
You too, Zach. Thanks, man. Have a good one.
See ya. Daniel, you still there?
Oh yeah.
Hey man, let's go ahead. Good. You got something?
No, I'm sipping whiskey. Obviously.
Oh man, already. Well, you're not in the U.S., so it's not that early, right? It's
9:30 p.m. here. Yeah.
9:30 p.m. All right. Well, that's allowed. when is the time you're allowed to start?
It's strictly speaking 4 p.m. on a Friday at 4 p.m. If you haven't had a drink by 4 p.m. or a smoke or whatever, you're doing it wrong. Friday, end of the week, 4 p.m. is you should be relaxed by then.
Agreed.
If not, you're working too hard.
I agree, man. Hey, I want to talk about one more subject before we close out the stream, and really appreciate you coming on as always, brother. But I want to talk about kind of the ongoing, war that's happening with Russia and Ukraine, and also kind of intertwined with that crypto regulation here in the U.S., which we were supposed to hear something on that front, of course, this week from Biden. But of course, I think that's been pushed to the back stove, if you will, the back of the stove because of what's going on. What does this do to you in terms of your investment decisions? Like, are you making any major moves because of these macro things happening in the background, these geopolitical tensions?
And we did a sizable breakdown of something of a comparison, along with he was with us last stream. I'm sorry, drawing a blank. No, gentleman Marquise and I were in Discord and in main chat. And we were breaking down a comparison of the trend of sort of the market trends that were circulating around the Russian invasion of Crimea in February, March of 2014. Like, we're about 5 days behind, like, in terms of trends for that. And you look at sort of the overall market trend movements on that. I personally am not a fan of taking shapes from previous charts and having that be a predictive model. But if you're looking at sort of the offset for it, then if you're using that as a model, I'm not saying use that as a reliable model. I'm saying if you were to use that as a predictive model, and then what it bodes for is that sort of in the next week and a half, you'll see sort of an exaggerated recovery followed by a very sharp drop. Now, my prior views on when I expected a crypto winter to begin sort of fall around the next month and a half. So I was my before any of this, probably about a year ago, it was still, my math worked out to around March was sort of the spool up to the beginnings of a bear market, and then April, May was sort of the crypto winter phase. So I'm still very much playing guarded, and very little has changed with regards to world events in that regard. I'm still working off of my accumulation points and my profit take points. As you know, I'm very strict about where I take profits, and I take them often early. And specifically vis-a-vis Russia invading the Ukraine again, I'm actually more concerned about the situations in China and Turkey with regards to economic impact than I am about Russia invading. I mean, the market tends to price, the stock market tends to price in war activities and recover from it very quickly. It really comes down to how sudden the actions were. So if it's, I mean, it would be very hard for someone educated in political science and world of and international politics and the theaters of war to see this action by Russia as unexpected, completely out of left field. Nobody saw it coming. I mean, strictly speaking, the first time Russia and the Ukraine went to war was in 2019. It was a maritime event it was called the Hans Strait or the Kerch Strait. Sorry. So that was some years ago, and it's sort of been building up ever since. So the market, because the market is pricing it in based on extremely well analyzed information, stock markets really price this in very quickly, and I don't think that they would consider it to be an out of left field thing. If you're basing your opinion of it on the news, then it's completely out of left field, and we're about to have World War III. So don't watch the news too much; it's not that informative. Don't be too reactionary to stuff like this. War happens. I'm surprised that the NATO and the U.S. response hasn't been substantially more forceful. But I think that NATO is playing it exactly by the playbook of NATO. I think that the thing that would be very, very concerning is if that you either have, I highly doubt you're going to have any NATO allies have any sort of impact by it. If Article 5 gets invoked, then we're in a whole different ballgame. But the problem is that Article 5 can apply to, for those who don't know, Article 5 is the invocation from NATO that an attack on one ally, of one member of NATO is an attack on all of them, and they must all respond. So there's another article in NATO that stipulates that anything that ships at sea and aircraft are also considered to be exactly as an attack on a NATO member. So the last time, during the invasion of Crimea in 2014, there was an airliner which got downed, which, if memory serves, it was Russian, and it was downed by the Ukraine, but I'll have to double check that because I can't 100% recall. My concern is that you'll have something stupid happen. Something along the lines of an aircraft belonging to a NATO ally, or a ship gets attacked by either the FSB or by the Russian military. That could really set things off, and situations such as these can get escalated very quickly. But the problem, again, I also live in the Middle East, so when you have NATO and Russia go to war but don't fully go to war, it doesn't bode well for my neighborhood. The Middle, when Russia and NATO and specifically the US start something but don't really finish it, it tends to be finished in the Middle East. So we'll see how that pans out. Specifically vis-a-vis regulation, I don't see anything terribly surprising coming. I don't really see the capacity in the US for any massively impactful regulation from the US government. I think we talked about this before we started the stream. It's much easier for China to flat out ban crypto because they don't have to follow a constitution. They're not burdened by that. In the States, it'd be much harder from a legal standpoint for the government to say you can't own this. They need to show that someone is being harmed. There was a lot of steps between what we have today and you're not allowed to own crypto. They can regulate it a lot. They can make it a huge pain in the ass to get a hold of it and to profit off of it and to do business. Which, I mean, as usual, my recommendation to everybody is to maintain a solid liquidity position so that if we do see an attempt at a massive regulation spree, you'll see a huge market dip, and just be in a position that if that comes, you know what you're buying, you have the money to buy it. And you just ride that storm through, and come out the other end in serious green.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I love that perspective. I think you're right. I think they're kind of at the stage right now where not a lot of people in the higher up in the U.S. government really fully understand crypto. There's probably a few. I don't want to say that everybody doesn't know what's going on, but many people don't. And I think there's still a large learning curve before any sweeping order comes through. And this is kind of the verbiage we've been hearing, executive order, which makes it sound like they're going to come and drop the hammer down and it's all over. But I agree with you. I don't think we're there yet. King's broadcast is in the back. I know he was hanging out with us in chat and he wanted to pop on for a minute. So I'll stay on for a little bit and bring him on. So Kings, welcome to the stream, man. Introduce yourself, kind of where you are in the crypto market. And this is, again, nothing paid here. We're just bringing on Kings, bringing on all different kind of people here on the stream. So what's up,
he paid me to be here. So
yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I don't know, for some reason I can't get my camera to work on this phone right now, but I appreciate you bringing me on. Most people in the platform knows me as King. My real name is Brett, though. I've definitely been in the DeFi space for some years now. Same story. Started out as an investor, and had my trials and tribulations definitely there. I will say there goes my buddy CM. Shout out to CM. But
Chris out in Vegas, man. I met Chris out in Vegas. Super good dude, and I saw he was on the team there with Goat Token. So shout out to you, Chris, man. Hopefully all is well, brother.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big supporter of CM and Goat Token. Actually, the lead dev, the CEO, Chris Kelly, has been a friend of mine for over 2 decades. He's the one that got me into crypto. And he had came to me about this idea of this project he wanted to start, and I knew some great individuals in the space, and I was able to actually fly up Michael and Chris and all of them up to my home state, where they got to actually, we know a lot of teams in the DeFi space sometimes live in different countries, different states. A lot of times they haven't personally met each other, but this is a team that has definitely taken the time to have like those team, bonding, just outside of DeFi, getting to know each other on a deeper level. I mean, all the teammates know each other's families, wives, kids. It's definitely a brotherhood over there, and soon to be. I know they're going to be bringing on a strong, much needed female onto their team, so I can't wait to see that definitely happen, because I'm definitely a big advocate for women in crypto. I believe we need more women in this platform.
Hey man, I might have missed this. Are you a dev for a certain project, or just a DeFi investor? Or maybe
a lot. I'm kind of the man in the background,
Okay.
I create content. I started, to be honest with you, I never thought I would have my own stream like you, but then I started getting on people's shows like special guest on, at first I was on Moonshot's channel about 4 or 5 times.
Very cool.
And I liked it. It was great. Obviously, I built my content, started around the Wolfpack, Saitama. I got into Saitama at 700 holders, and kind of took my platform to there. I'm not a paid shiller. I'm not a paid promoter. I've never taken money from any projects. The projects that I have brought to my platform are ones that I'm personally invested in with my own money, projects I truly believe in, projects that I have direct contact with all the developers, like in my phone, not just through a Twitter DM, but, those personal relationships. I've always been that way in life, especially when I'm going to put my hard-earned money into something. I want to be able to have direct contact with the people that are behind the business. That's just how I am. With Saitama was my first, big step in that direction. And, being able to communicate with Russ, Aaron, and Gabe and all those guys was always easy. So definitely appreciated that. But like I said, I'm very selective when it comes to tokens I invest in, obviously, and also that I bring to my platform, because even though I don't have a ton of subscribers, I got a lot. I would say that everybody that subscribes and supports me is a friend, and I take full responsibility of my platform. I truly do, and these people trust me and they believe in me, and I call them my family, so it's definitely been a journey for me, from going from investor to content creator to, on the back end, being able to help these projects. Early on with Saitama, me and Russ were talking. I've had them on for AMAs and stuff, but I wanted to help more. So he actually put me in contact with Aaron from the development team, from the marketing side, and I got to work in the background, helping Aaron out. So I like to get involved as deep as I can with the projects I'm invested in, because it only benefits your bag. I tell people all the time, we are the CEO of our bags.
Yeah, 100%, man. Hey, what's your YouTube channel, man? I'd love to send some people your way and check you out.
Kings_broadcast. I keep all my platforms the same, so not to confuse anybody.
Gotcha, man. So we're gonna put some eyeballs on you, and it sounds like you've already built some great connections. You got a new subscriber in me, and hopefully some others too. Go check you out and listen to what you're talking about, man. That's awesome, brother. So, what are some projects that you're super bullish on? Still there? Kings, you still there? Oh, I think we're
King's broadcast. You're being paged.
King's broadcast. You still there, man? Okay. Sounds like he jumped out, but there you go. There's his channel. Happy to help any other fellow content creator out there. Get eyeballs on what they're doing. And yeah, so that's what I've got. Daniel, any parting thoughts, man? Thanks again, dude, for hopping on.
I think it'd be much healthier for people who are overly involved with crypto, especially in this time when we got much more volatility in the markets, to schedule time for your crypto in your day. I mean, you can't be 24/7. You can check your wallet as much as you like. I don't think that's actually a problem.
I got the camera to work this time.
Nice, man. I just put up your channel, and hopefully we get some people your way. I wanted to ask you real quick before we close the stream, Daniel. I'll come back to you too. Kings, any other projects besides GOAT? It sounds like you're super into this one. Any other ones you're very bullish on? Maybe your top 3, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, getting closer to Shane, I've been definitely digging into that Delta. With the connection to SHIB, obviously SHIB is a powerhouse. I mean, they're the number one DeFi token in the space. That's definitely one I've been looking into personally myself. To be honest with you, I've changed my investment strategies. But there's some definitely these are tokens I'm not currently invested in, but they're probably the next step would be, after my research taking that, and then I'm very interested in Volt and what they're doing over there. I'm all see like I tell people all the time, my platform is not to shill a project or anything like that. Like when I have live AMAs, that's the job of the developers to inform the people what they're doing over there, their vision, their roadmap. I like to use my platform I shill a community. I love the communities that I've been involved in and that are out there growing and I'm all about positivity. Most people that know me, I came from a very negative upbringing, so I like to have as much positivity in my life. So I look at my platform as a community platform for the community. I shield communities. That's it.
I do the same, man. And a lot of people would call me a paid shiller because, full transparency, I have taken money for videos, but I look at it like this, man. As long as I'm just getting eyeballs on the project and not saying, go buy this now, it's going to go crazy, which I don't do, then it's marketing. And in every walk of life, in every business, people pay for marketing. So to all the haters out there, I see a few of you in the chat. Congratulations. Take a look at the Apollo Inu chart and have a good day.
I'll be honest with you. I got a lot of my supporters and followers into GOAT token very early, and it's been nothing but positivity come from. I mean, people are up 20x, 10x, 5x. And to be honest with you, I preach a lot. That there's always these last like 6 months have been a lot of us against them mentality, and that's not what this space is about. I mean, it's us all in search of one common goal, and that's financial stability. It truly is. And there's no issue. I have no problem with, people that build up their platforms like you and Austin and Jake and, your pop. There's no issue with taking money. I mean, there is no difference. This is all, like you said, it's marketing. It's a business at the end of the day. And your hard work deserves to be paid off in a monetary value. Then, that's what you put your work in for.
And here's the thing, guys, and I think this goes for everybody. And I think you'll see this too, Kings, as your platform continues to grow. More and more people expect you to be right all the time. All right. And nobody who's invested in anything, I don't care who you are, is right all the time. And people never give you praise when you get it right, but they're right at your beck and call when you get it wrong. So
exactly.
keep that in mind because they'll come. And,
Oh, we lost him.
It's okay. We can keep it rolling. I think what he meant to say is that people need not to be emotionally over invested in things.
and I 100% agree with you. And if people really followed that, what a lot of people preach, don't ever invest what you cannot afford to lose, then the emotions would be taken out of it. You
Well,
truly would.
what for me personally, one of the things, like I'm a Discord mod for Zach, and also the other mods. We actually invest as a pool on several projects, and just having the resources of 3 or 4 points of view, where one can easily digress from the others, and you have a dissenting point of view about a project, whatever it really does. It's a very good tool. Like, there's a huge difference between uneducated FUD, or rather unresearched FUD, I should say, where someone just comes in and just talks shit about a project just for the sake of talking shit about it.
No, and
Or the opposite.
I took some flack. I took some flack last week when I told people that I truly believe that 2022 is the year that we're going to see a lot of these meme tokens disappear. I still believe we're going to have the Shivs and the Doges, but because I look at projects like Goat, that I'm a big supporter of, obviously one of my greatest friends in life who got me into crypto, and he's taken more of a business approach at it. People need to realize, like, I like to use the word business because at the end of the day, that's what these are. These are businesses, and he's taken his corporate background and being able to seal a deal with a multi-billion-dollar partnership. And he has this vision of being that bridge between corporations and crypto. I mean, it's amazing. Like, a deal like he's been working out. I might get in trouble for some of these details, but oh well. But I'll take that out with him. But I mean, let's be honest with you. We see a lot of these. There's a lot of great projects out there that just can't get past that first initial hump, and that's because they don't have the liquid to back it. And what he has a vision in doing is not just having a corporate partner. I mean, this is a multi-billion-dollar corporation, which we've never seen a company that large come actually into the DeFi space, and be able to run 100% of their payments through GOAT token. And see, the way I thought it was, because I always thought about payments, right? Somebody has to go purchase the token, and then they have to use it to buy it. Well, this is set up where you still traditionally use your fiat, whether it's a debit card, credit card, bank account on their platforms, and it automatically goes and purchases GOAT token for the company and puts it into their wallet, which in the beginning of a project is going to be massive because you're going to see the reflections, the burn, the market cap's going up because this company, I think, is estimated to do 140 to $200 million in revenue, which will be pumping through your project. And then later on, it will be one of those things where it will help stabilize your market cap when you do see sales. On top of that, obviously, we know, like a lot of companies like this, we know the metaverse is the future of things in Web3, and to be able to build a co-store together. And then the number one thing is the educational platform. This company has over 30 million active consumers on all their platforms. And if they're going to partner with the cryptocurrency and possibly bring even a fraction of 30 million individuals into the space, which might be larger because I'm not going to lie, their main demographic is 18 to 33-year-old males, which we understand is the main demographic in crypto. It's partially their responsibility and the developers of the project that are partnering with this company to educate all those individuals that are going to be coming into the space. I mean, it's just amazing because, like, at the end of the day, this is what I'm in crypto for. I want to be able to leave my house and go to the gas station or go to my convenience store, my grocery store, or retail store and use my crypto to buy my goods. And that's only going to happen when we start
and to have that be easier than what you do today.
Yeah, when we start to actually, like I tell people, a lot of people are like, well, we're trying to get away from corporates, da da da. Well, we're bringing corporations into the DeFi space. We're not leaving the DeFi space to go to them. And I'll be 100% honest with you. I've been in meetings this last couple months with executives from Nike, Under Armour, T-Mobile, Verizon, all the way from CEOs to vice presidents to CEOs. And the one thing that I was interested to hear is that they're all very interested in what we're doing over here in this space. But I was also not happy when I heard that nobody from this space has ever really reached out to them. See, what people need to realize is that corporations have been doing this for decades. They're very successful. They make a lot of money. It's our job to reach out to them and bring them in here and show them what we're doing and show them why I truly believe, my opinion, that DeFi is the future of finance. And fiat's just on its way out the door.
debatable if it's on its way out the door, but I mean, to touch on what you mentioned earlier about, I mean, the success rate. I mean, it really does reflect the success rate of startups. I mean, personally, I've been involved in 5 startups and only one has succeeded, and the actual success rate of startups in general is under 5% if you're talking after 5 years. So
I mean, I talk to CM like every day, and I said, this project has been 100% organic. There's been zero marketing.
Yeah.
And they've hit almost a $40 million market cap at all time high one time. But for them to be sitting where they're at and to get where they're at without marketing, because I'll be honest with you, last year a project, all it needed was a lot of hype and very good marketing, and it could almost do whatever it needed, get wherever it wanted to get.
When you're in nothing but a green market, you can throw a dartboard at the top 100 and make money. I mean, it's I think it was Patrick Boyle who said it best, that during the June-July mark of this past year, of the year that just closed, if you bought the wrong dog-themed meme coin by accident, like you sold it wrong, you may as well just hold it because you got equally as likely to make money.
Yeah, I mean this project really showed me early on, because we all know how January was for us all. It was a bad month, and this project was able to sustain through it all.
No, so I mean, but it comes down to is there's a certain balance between business savvy and developer creativity, and I guess marketing, and there's that sort of sweet spot between all those things that really balances out to have a project really be able to. I mean, the real defining factor between whether or not a project is going to be around is really worth the long term. Does it survive the worst of conditions? I mean, my metric for risk is if this project had nothing but bad news for 365 days in a row, is this project still going to be viable? So like when I look at SHIB, for example, nowadays, Shiba Inu, I see that they had a 3-month, around when they launched ShibaSwap, they had a 3-month span where absolutely nothing but bad news came out. Everything was either not functioning or delay or some FUD coming out. Saitama, that compounds it even more. They're kind of still experiencing that today, where everything is a deadline that they set, and they sort of miss the mark on those, which is, again, that is something startups get every single time. I have never seen a startup meet a deadline in their first 3 years of existence.
Well, we know how CM feels about deadlines and setting dates.
Well, I wanted to first come in and just say hi to everyone. Zach, I know it's been a while. I haven't actually spoken to you since Vegas. And, I talk to my brother Kane almost every single day because, I mean, he's like family to me, And it really brings me joy to see like community members come on to different platforms and talk about what we're doing, because I agree with you. There's the problem with crypto is that development teams are always too busy trying to hype their coin, but never putting the work behind it, So you see all these pumps, they don't deliver. Here comes people taking their money. And then you don't know who's taking the money because you don't know whose wallet's whose, right? So we're killing that with GOAT. I'm telling you right now, we have killed that with GOAT. And what I mean is that the way we structured our deal with this partner, okay, which is going to be not only us, but their holdings themselves, you are going to get full access to see our wallets. Every single wallet that we hold, you will be able to monitor it because of this deal. But what makes it even better is that we structured the deal so that within the partnership between the development team and the company we're bringing in with us, we give each other 30 days to sell our tokens within ourselves, to keep it inside so it never hits the market. Because there's too many times you see developers drop their bags, they start selling, they're selling. Market's going down, but do you know if they're selling? You don't know. So we're structuring this so that ends. No more. Your developers will never be able to dump on you anymore with this deal. Because that's it. It's over. It is over. You are, from here on out, it is time for developers to get up, start doing the right things for their people. No more hyping. One thing you will never see at Go is you're never going to see us say, hey, we might do a Surtech, or we might list on Hotbit, or there, or this. No. Because every time that happens, you see tokens go like this, they don't deliver, and what happens? Everybody who's been sitting and waiting, they just start pulling their money.
Smiley, if I can jump in, and I agree with you, man, I think it needs to go like this. Quit saying what you're going to do. Tell us when it's done.
That's the approach we've taken. You would never see us at GOAT tell you we plan to do something. We've taken the execute, then deliver. Like when we apply for our Certec, which will be here soon because we've got everything ready, we're gonna say it's in, submit it. Here you go. We've got proof. When we apply for a listing, we're just gonna apply. When we get the date for the listing, we'll show the date.
Right.
No reason to tell you guys that we're gonna do something, and not deliver. Those days are over. No more. In GOAT, we will never hype it. We will never this. We will never that. We're just gonna deliver, execute, and that's it. Because your investments is what we're supposed to be taking care of. It's a development team. It's our job, not your job. It is our job to make your investment grow. I get so tired of seeing everyone trying to get everybody, their community, hype us. No, it is our job to make your investment grow. It's good to have love for a community and share it and share the passion for something, but it's still the development team to deliver. And that's it. We will deliver. No more hyping, no more talking. This is what we're about. We will just deliver. And once this deal is done and you see it and we deliver it to you, you're going to see we're not playing games. We don't aim to be just a token there. We aim to take over. We're aiming for the top. But to get there, we got to do it in steps. We got the partnership. Once that's done, we'll take the next step. Then the next step, okay, we're going to build this educational platform. That's our main focus because we're tired of hearing people saying, hey, let's build the educational platform. Where's it at? Where's it at? That's it. We're going to work hard on it because we want to deliver that. From the beginner investment to the best investor, there's always something to learn. And that's our goal, to make sure that we are teaching everyone, making them better investors, making them smarter, educating them so they know where to put their money, to stop throwing their money at just anything to hope it sticks. We just need to make better investors. And when we do, everyone else is going to be better. Because I remember coming to this space and not knowing nothing, trying to find stuff, and you can't find it. I gotta look to you or Austin, the Jake Gagans, the people who are out there trying to put stuff just to try to learn. Why? Mm-hmm. So we're gonna do what we can. We're gonna get the educational platform up immediately. And then you guys already heard about the Metaverse store, so.
Yeah, man, and I think this is a great conversation to have, especially on a Friday, end of the week. We've got a green day. People are feeling good, but when the market turns, that's where, people start getting frustrated. Things start getting super tribal. Mm-hmm. And I think, let me interject too, from a YouTube standpoint. I think I speak for all of those guys you just mentioned. We don't look at it as, hey, we're just paid shillers. We look at it as we've worked our ass off to build these platforms, and a new company is coming up. We're going to do our best, our due diligence to make sure they're KYC, doxed, hopefully, and we're going to run contracts through people like TARP and Moonshot, right? We're doing the best to put eyeballs on these projects. That is our goal. And why do people come to us to do that? Because we feel we are the marketing arm for the crypto space. And it's not about one project. It's not about two projects or three projects. It's about crypto. It's about educating everybody, helping people make better decisions. Eventually, it's your decision to press the buy button. We're just telling you what projects are doing. And that's how we sit. And I think there's a lot of people out there who, kind of don't understand that and maybe just aren't educated enough yet. But our goal, and I think your goal as well with your project, is to continue to educate people. And I think with that vision, we're going to make this a better place.
And we will. We definitely will. That's the goal for all of us. And with you, Zach, and everybody else who does these contents, if you guys really do the right thing and stick together, you know what I'm saying, and just really push out truthful, honest content like you guys are doing, then it's giving the tools to the people who need it, who truly need it. Because we cannot lie, there are channels that just fluff just to make money. Yep. We need more people like you guys in this space. So thank you. Thank you for being this. Thank you for actually having an open platform for people to just jump in, Yep. That's amazing in itself. I appreciate you for that, brother.
No problem, man. Happy
Smiley, I gotta say, first off, your zeal is impressive and infectious. So that just off the top, I mean, I cannot recall a time when I saw a developer be this enthusiastic about their project. So kudos to that. I do want to touch on a couple of things you brought up. One is you mentioned that you're going to have a developer buyback program where you'll be buying from your developers who wish to sell their tokens. Are they going to be buying it at the market price at the time, or are they getting it at the launch price?
No. When our partners start buying these tokens in this payment system, it's going to be at the price that's there. So when they start buying up and so the way the payment system work is, right, you're going to buy with your credit card, your Discovery, your
I'm sorry,
MasterCard, or your Visa, right?
I'm sorry, I wasn't clear
Okay.
on the question. I didn't mean about the use of the platform by the consumer. I meant, you mentioned that developers, if they wish to offload their tokens, then there's a program that the project itself will actually purchase the tokens off of them. If I understand.
Yes. We'll sell it to each other within ourselves, and we'll get 30 days to. Within those 30 days, if they decide not to buy,
Precisely. So
then
my question,
they'll buy at the price. We'll sell at the market price.
Excellent. And then second thing,
we'll sell at the market price. But what's going to happen is, because it's never going to touch the market, you see? So it's never going to have an effect.
No, I understand that, but I'm wondering two things. One is where is the funding coming from to pay for the tokens at that time? Is it coming from the project's own personal wallet, or?
It'll be from our own wallets when we start buying off. You see what I'm saying? So this way, they'll get 30 days to gather the funds. So they'll gather the funds so they can buy up our tokens. You see, this way you guys will never have to see it. It will never touch you guys. Yes.
I understand. Okay, so let's say, we've got Smiley over here, and let's say I'm Daniel, a developer on your team. I have, let's just say 10 million GOAT tokens that I have as a reward for my development expertise, and I am moving on to another project, so I have 10 million tokens to offload. So you're going to buy my 10 million tokens off of me at the market price at the time without it actually going through Uniswap. Am I so far correct?
Yes. So what we'll do is we'll gather the money. You will buy the coins right off of you directly. You see?
Yeah.
You'll still see the reflection, and you'll still see the burns from it.
Okay, so where is the funding on your end coming from to purchase my 10 million tokens?
Well, that will be for us to figure out at that point in time. You see, we're not going to be touching our wallets anytime soon. But once this partnership gets deeper and we start to create more capital, you see what I'm saying? Then we'll be able to do that. Maybe, use a marketing wallet or just something. Well, not even our own money, basically. That's what I meant to say. Sorry.
No, so there will be a marketing wallet which will be accumulating funds by selling tokens, those funds will be used to purchase my 10 million tokens that I got as a developer.
No, not the marketing wallet. Ourselves. So we have to gather the funds. If I want to buy your tokens, you say Daniel says, hey man, Smiley, man, I think I'm done. I want to sell my 10 million shares. It's worth about $5 million. You give us 30 days to gather those funds from within ourselves. Maybe other investors from us within will gather the funds. When I go to Kane, I say, hey Zach, Daniel wants to get out. Hey, let's gather the funds that we have and let's buy it ourselves, and we'll buy it up. And we'll talk to the partners too. You got to understand.
But the revenue will be external, right? It'll be coming from external, like it will be fiat currency or other currencies than GOAT token, which are being used to purchase like if I wish to swap it for USDT, you're going to be giving me USDT from an external source than the project, or is
what would happen is we would probably buy you out with the Ethereum, and then you go ahead and convert your Ethereum to whatever fiat you wish to go from there.
That I get, but where is the Ethereum coming from?
It would come from within the partnership.
So there's external revenue sources that are already in place.
This company has plenty of revenue sources coming in. Yes.
No, but I mean the GOAT token project as it's on its own has got external revenue sources already established.
No, what we're gonna have. Okay, hold on a second. When the partnership is done, okay, they're gonna provide us with marketing. Okay, they're gonna provide us with some capital so we can go ahead and do what we need to do while they go ahead and implement the payment system. You see?
Yeah. So the partnerships which you'll be joining into are going to be providing you with liquid capital, and that capital will be expended if a developer wishes to exit.
Yes.
Excellent. And okay, no, wonderful. I just wanted to clear that up because there are projects in the past which have been like, we're going to purchase internally, and what they end up doing is end up selling marketing wallet tokens and then buying it with
no. Marketing is exactly for what it's for. Marketing. It ain't for our pockets whatsoever.
Okay. And the other thing,
that marketing money is for marketing. It's for us to build it, to get it out there, to let the world see what we got. That's what that's for. We would never touch it for anything else. And you'll be able to see it all. So don't worry. You'll be able to track everything.
Okay, so the other thing
That's the goal, to have ultimate transparency. And
Okay, so
and here's the thing: as this partnership unfolds more, because we still have more learning to do with their system. Because remember, this is their system. We're providing GOAT to them. Okay, and then we're going to work on the metaverse store together, co-branded and stuff. But we're providing the tokens, they're providing the payment system, and obviously it's there. We're just basically co-partners with them.
Okay, so another thing that was mentioned earlier, both between you and King's broadcast, was sort of the sort of the mysteriousness involved with developers versus the front men, the people who actually show their face, and the people who are out there every day talking. So it's clear that you're out here talking, quite proselytizing very well about your project. I have to admit that I am much more attracted to your project now than I was when I heard about people yelling about it in chat. I don't respond well to people shouting something to the moon in the chat, but. One thing I'm wondering is a very common problem both in startups and more importantly in crypto projects is sort of a communication disconnect between a development staff, people who actually write the code of a contract, and the people who execute the technical side of things, and the people who are doing the marketing side of things. A lot of this comes down to like project delays, like you were talking, like you're not going to announce a date until you're absolutely sure. And can you just sort of outline the relationship with your developers so we can get, what level, if a developer says 2 weeks, it's ready. Do you understand what that means when a developer says in 2 weeks it's ready? Because it doesn't mean 2 weeks to most people. No.
And that's the thing, people. I mean, setting dates and timelines and stuff. I would never understand. I would never get it. Sorry, it's still hot in here.
No.
But it's our relationship with our developers, or the people that with our contract and everyone else. Trust me, it is very tight knit. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, no, in terms of knowing,
and everybody's on the level, and everybody's legit. Everybody's, everyone's done something, to show that they've actually are on the level, and that's what we've only brought in people that we know. Are legit on the level and ain't here to do anything underhanded whatsoever. We've kept it really tight.
So I'm not talking about the interplay, like do you personally know each other or the bona fides of anybody involved. I'm more mean like the interplay. Are the people managing, like, are the project managers people who have managed crypto developers in the past? And have they communicated with them on a consistent basis? Or are they just or when they ask the developer, when is this feature going to be ready? Are they taking the developer's word one for one and just assuming that that's the deadline? You get what I mean?
As far as ours or GOAT, the company we're with, our GOAT token or the company we're with?
I'm not.
Which developers? The developers for the payment system or for our project?
I specifically mean the token as a project and its work with the developers of the project. I'm not sure by your description or if that means developers from the side of the partner as well as developers like Solidity developers and blockchain devs. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure where your development staff resides, but what I want to understand is how constant is the communication between your development and your marketing and your management teams, and how experienced are these sides with working with those two teams?
Okay. Oh, sorry. Within our team, there's always constant communication with everyone, from me to the CEO to our developers, everyone else. It is when I tell you it's constant communication, it is constant communication. There isn't a day, there isn't probably a morning, evening, a night, whenever it is. We're always in constant communication. We have to be. The reason why we're in constant communication is so that we can actually provide accurate information to everyone. That's why I told you I don't like to jump ahead and like to. It's hard to say. I'm not a hype person. I've never been a hype person. Never. Well, that's a lie. I kind of hyped up Saitama for a little bit, but you know about that.
But what I mean is are the people who have you worked personally with Solidity developers and blockchain developers on projects to the point where if a developer tells you we've got a bug with the allocation of liquidity, between V2 and V3 that or that you know how to communicate adequately to the people, or are we going to have to wait for a developer to give a message about it?
No. We haven't actually. If you know Michael Laidley, he's a very actually, and Crystal, they're both very smart and intelligent developers in our community. Michael, as you know, he also heads up Heroes. These guys are he's on the board. Both of them are on the board. They're very smart. They know what they're doing. They're very educated. Me, myself, if you want to know my background, I'm currently trying to finish my cybersecurity degree. If you want to know what kind of background I have in computers and programming and stuff like that.
SSP, CompTIA, which one?
Excuse me?
Which one?
I did not hear you, sir. I mean, dang, sorry.
EMC2, CISSP, CompTIA, which cybersecurity certifications?
I don't have the certifications yet because I'm still in study. I'm in year 2, if that makes any sense. I've taken all the base. I had taken all my primary classes out. I've taken the beginning of my cybersecurity courses. And I'm actually, as soon as this next semester starts up in the summer, I'll be able to go ahead and take my beginning programming classes for it. You see?
Okay, which cybersecurity certification?
Hello?
Yeah. Hello?
What the Hello?
Hi.
Looks like he's frozen.
All right, let's give him a come back.
He can still hear you. Are you there?
In my technical opinion, hitting the phone will not help.
Here, we'll see if they drop back in. Really good questions, Daniel. Interesting. What are your thoughts?
I got excited by his zeal on the project. Like if nothing else, the man is a very attractive face to a project. Like in terms of his energy, in terms of his enthusiasm, that absolutely for certain. But you know me, I dig way too deep, and I'm always the wet blanket. So I know for certain I'm about to have at least 30 people DMing me about how much of an asshole I am because I talked crap about Go Token. If anybody thinks I just talked crap, I did not. I just asked.
That's good questions.
I would ask about any project brought to my attention, and right. I must note that man was by far one of the most enthusiastic. Like if I took any crypto project and put that man's face and his energy behind it, love it already. Like I do not care about projects that people mention in a chat. Or just in passing, you have to understand that as a Discord mod on Zach's Discord, we get asked anywhere from 20 to 50 projects a day, either in DM or in any of the channels, like to look at a specific project. So just the sheer volume of it makes it so that I have to be completely dry and impartial about them. But yeah, it's more it is refreshing to see that level of energy about the gentleman's project. That for sure is nice. I would like to see some more specifics answered, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I thought you asked some great.
I don't know. I'm certified for 4 different types of information security. So
this is why I ask you questions. This is why when you're investing in tokens, I think before you jump right in, ask questions. Ask people who know things that you don't. And I'll be the first one to tell you, everybody on this stream right now, Daniel's way more schooled in crypto than I am. I'm still learning. I think we all are, but I'll be the first one to tell you, I don't have any problem. I could swallow my pride and say when people are smart in many aspects, and you are, and that's why I consult you a lot of the times. And I think many people kind of see the faces on YouTube and think they all have it all figured out. I mean, I can only speak for myself, but I don't. I'm learning, and every single day I'm learning. So I don't know. I just wanted to say that. Go ahead.
I'm learning new stuff every day. My background just happens to place me sort of in the sweet spot for like knowledge about computer science and finance and stuff like that, where I just happened to be in the right place at the right time for certain things. But not a day goes by where I don't learn something new. Just today, I learned that 1inch has massively improved their DeFi capabilities.
And we were just talking about that pre-stream, and that's something I've learned today through Daniel. And I think that's important in this space because everything is so new. It's changing so rapidly. And if you think you've got it all figured out and you stop learning, you're setting yourself up for failure. And I know that sounds blunt and it sounds like whatever, but I mean that's
I would add to that, not just if you're learning, learn with people. Get a group of 3-4 people you solidly trust. One of the biggest benefits I get from being in your community is that along with the other mods, we buy as a pool, we investigate things as a pool, we bounce ideas off each other. And one of the most important things you can have in investing in general, but in crypto especially, is someone who's willing to play the wet blanket. Yes. And to take a project that you are absolutely nuts about, that you are absolutely bullish on, and give you a perspective that is like, wait a second, take a breath. Well, here's some stuff that we should clear up. Here's some stuff that we should look at. I mean, but also on top of that, it's just people to have fun with about it and to make this space sufferable. I mean, I would have left crypto a long time ago if not for Roberto and Music King and Foxy and you just chilling in the mud, and Boca. Just chilling, and Kat also. I gotta give a shout out to Kat and Trent. But yeah, just like we have a DGen channel that we opened, by the way, in Zach's Discord. It's invite only. We'll expand it for other people, but late at night, have a couple of whiskeys and pick some completely degenerate play, just to see if you can get out before they pull the rug. That isn't wise investment strategy, but you learn an immense amount by how rug pulls get executed, how the technical aspects of things, how to investigate tokens. All sorts of stuff like that, and constantly we're learning new things.
100%, man. And I think that's I've seen this community come together, and I don't want to take full credit because you've taken the torch, Everto's taken the torch, Boca, and many others, and that's what I had set out to do from the whole thing. I didn't want to create something where it was like top down, right? I wanted out of the hierarchical structure of society and jobs and all of that. I mean, I know some of us are in that and we're doing, that's fine. For me though, I like that entrepreneurial kind of atmosphere where ideas are thrown around, things are pushed back upon, makes you think twice, differing opinions. And I think that's really, really important, especially what we're seeing inside a lot of these communities now in crypto, where you can't say anything wrong about their project or about their dev person or about anything without feeling the wrath, right? And I don't blame those people. I think it's just a lack of education. I think it's a lack of communication. And I think those things will come together and create better investors over time once people realize how much benefit comes from these conversations when people disagree with you. And this goes outside of crypto, by the way, too. And I love that we're here because I like to interject some of this as well. My past life, I'm a communication professor. And I'm not one that speaks to the choir and speaks in echo chambers. I want my opinions pushed back upon. I want to say, I don't know, right? That's a really powerful thing to say. I don't know. Teach me. A lot of people aren't willing to do that. And with this being so new and things changing so rapidly, you've got to be willing and able to say, I don't know. Tell me what you think, right? And I think that's the relationship we fostered together in our private community. And I hope I'm doing that here on YouTube as well.
That being said, I fully expect that both of us are about to get death threats from GOAT supporters within the next 3 hours. Even though, again, if you want me to come back and complete the conversation because the gentleman either left the stream or disconnected, yeah, sure. I mean, if you're going to have them on later to complete questions and stuff, if it falls in a time that I can be awake and available, glad to.
I'd be happy to have him back on. And I know Chris, I obviously didn't know he was affiliated with this new project. I just knew him through being a Saitama investor and, very, very super high level, got to meet him, obviously saw the energy and thought he was a great guy and remembered him because of that. Right. When I saw his face, I remembered his face. Right. And, to your point, I think there's a lot to be said for that. But on the other side of the fence, you do have to ask the hard questions. You have to get down to the nitty gritty and, make sure you're fully aware of what the project's doing before you invest. So I'd be happy to have them back on if they're willing to, if they're listening out there. Be happy to have you guys back on and we can continue to, discuss the project.
All right. But are we continuing? Or we?
No, I think that's we've been rolling for 2 hours, man. I'm gonna cut this one out, but my DMs are open, so be happy to bring people on, and I'm gonna be doing a lot more of this too. Everybody out there listening to, I'll post this publicly. Whether you're new to crypto, you've been in it for a long time, you're helping with a project, where come on in. We're gladly welcome you in and talk about what's going on and where you're at with crypto. I think that's good. I think that speaks to everything we just talked about the last 5-10 minutes. Is let's have conversations. Let's disagree. Let's learn. And that's what it's all about right now in crypto. So happy Friday, everybody. Daniel, can't thank you enough, brother. Always
a pleasure.
All right, brother. Drink a whiskey for me. I'll be having one in a few hours myself.
All right.
All right, brother. Take care. See everybody out there.